for a blast from the past. I'm Michael Jordan. This is Niche Gamer's video review supplemental for Blaster Master Zero. Blaster Master Zero is a beautiful piece of throwback pixel art. Crisp, clean, vibrant, and detailed. Zero takes players out of the 8-bit and into a world of lush forests, glaciers, technoscapes, and caverns filled with bright red lava. This is a steep but welcome contrast from the mostly black and dark palette of the previous titles. Characters, bosses, and enemies are also well detailed and interesting, grabbing a bit of the past and giving them a 2017 makeover. Gameplay is broken up into two sections, a top-down dungeon crawler and a Metroidvania-style 2D world exploration game, which serves as the main way to traverse the world. This provides an interesting back and forth with gameplay that not a lot of players have experienced before. You'll go into a dungeon to get power-ups that allow you to traverse the world better in the Metroidvania sections, and then by doing so you'll be able to access more dungeons. The bosses in the dungeon sections are just as much of a reward, if not more so, than the power-ups that you get, as each one of them is interesting and different. In general, dungeons and bosses aren't that difficult, but they do have a major focus on not taking any damage. If you do take damage, your weapon becomes decreased in power slightly, and if you take enough damage, you're going to be stuck with the basic weapon until you either defeat those enemies or find more power-ups. Most of the time, players will be in the Metroidvania portion of the game, blowing things to high hell while they explore the map. This is actually done very well, as it has a sort of two-tone system similar to the dungeon exploration and the map exploration of the Metroidvania system. At the start of each area, players will find themselves without a map or any real idea of where to go. They will explore the level until they either find their last destination, all the power-ups, or a map which will give you all the information available in the area. One small issue that the Metroidvania sections do have that doesn't pop up too often is that sometimes you'll have to get out of the Sophia 3 and make a ladder jump while you're in your little small character form. This normally wouldn't be an issue in a game like Mega Man, where you tend to stick to ladders you come across as long as you're pushing the up direction pad. But in this game, it doesn't do it well at all. It might actually be a bug, but from my experience, the 2 areas or so that this shows up, it is almost impossible to grab the ladder if you're using the joystick on the Joy-Con. You're better off using the D-pad buttons in this section, or else you're going to fall to an instant death. Much of the sound of the music in Blaster Master Zero hits you right in the nostalgia, but when compared to the retro classics, it is clear that this is an amazing step above. It really ties the game together in a nice bow while you're exploring the landscapes and dungeons of the world. The story of Blaster Master Zero is light but not non-existent. You play as Jason, a young scientist who finds an interesting interdimensional frog named Fred, which ultimately leads him to the Sophia 3. Along the way, you'll meet Eve, who is a mysterious android girl who has lost her memory. While being light, the world that they are building in Blaster Master Zero is quite interesting, with some standout lore for those who are interested in exploring it. It's one of those as much or as little as you want sort of games in that sense. Blaster Master Zero is one hell of a retro remake that hits all the points of the original flawlessly but brings it into the modern era. In general, it's a near perfect experience and a blast, see what I did there? To play. You will be hard-pressed to get a better retro remake that not only respects the original game but improves on it instead of just repeating it. This is hands down a must-buy for anyone with a Nintendo Switch. Thank you for watching this video review. If you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and if you want to help us out, feel free to check out our Patreon page.